The other day, I stumbled on a tutorial where someone made those awesome glassy liquid sounds using a vocoder in a freaky and unexpected way that left me asking this question: why aren't we doing this in Psytrance? So, being the geek I am, I had to answer this question myself. So I grabbed Pigment 6 and I dove headfirst into its vocoder and sample engine. By the way, trust me, samples are the new wavetables. And I came up with some of the trippiest sounds I made in a while. And of course, I have to share them with you. Now, before we dive into this tutorial, if you want to support the channel, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Things like that helps the channel a lot. And if you're feeling like buying me a coffee, there's a super thanks button for that. Now, that said, let's dive into this tutorial. Now, I'm going to use a noise kind of sample because I feel that noises are the best way to demonstrate the capabilities of this technique. Let's choose our noise sample. I'll go with the noises from Pigments factory library. I'll use the Burning Vinyl one. Sounds like this. Let's give it some volume. Now, let's turn off the filter. The beauty of this technique is that it also doesn't need filters to shine, especially when we're using noise samples. So let's go to the effects in here, FXA, and let's add a vocoder. Sounds like this now. Now, with the vocoder, there are many parameters that will help us shape the sound, starting with the bands. Let's add a multiband compressor in here. Choose the OPP preset, which is the default preset. Give it some amount. I just want to boost the volume of the sound. So with less bands, we have this. See how it's changing the timbre of the sound. Now, let's modulate the bandwidth, and this is where the magic is going to happen. Check this out. Glassy sound. Noise, glassy sound. It's crazy how those maybe like 21% affects the sound. Let's keep it like so. Now let's change the mode in here to modern. See, it's really clean now. You can't hear the original sample. While if we put 30, you will hear the original sample. I like to keep it on vintage because it's a middle solution between the two options, modern and dirty. And now what we can also do is play or modulate the format parameter. Check this out. This acts like some sort of a DJ filter. I like to think of it like this. Now, let's boost the output level of this sound. Perfect. Now there's still one parameter that affects the timbre of the sound that I didn't show you, and that is the frequency range of the vocoder. Check this out. This is crazy. See where we can go with this? Now, unfortunately, we can't modulate the frequency range parameter of the vocoder inside of Pigments, but luckily, with Bitwig's modulators, we can do so. Check this out. Let's add a random modulator. Here I have a random modulator from Bitwig. Let's set it to a rate of 1 and 4, like so. Triggering, let's set it to sync. And now let's make it modulate the frequency range. See, it's this parameter right in here. I'm going to set it, by the way, to sample and glide. And now let's modulate this parameter. See where I'm going with this? Now, let's add the arpeggiator in here. I want it to act as some sort of a random arpeggiator. So no randomization on the pitch, but I want a lot of randomization on the probability. I don't want it to play 1/16th kind of arpeggiated sequence. Let's modulate the gate length in here. No modulation on the octaves, no modulation on the slide. And let's set the auto regenerate in here to 1 bar. So every 1 bar, it's going to randomize itself. And now we have this. Check this out. Now, there's still one issue I want to solve with this patch, and that is the sample starting position. See, it's always starting from the same place, and I want to change that. I want it to be random. This will make the patch way more dynamic, especially that the sample isn't uniform in volume. See, there are dips, there are places where the volume is higher, lower. So this will make the patch move a lot and just make it really dynamic. So let's go to the random section here, take the first randomizer, set it to unipolar, and let's make it modulate the starting position. Of course, I'm going to set the synchronize in here to 1/8. I'm going to keep it the way it is, and now we have this. Check this out. Perfect. Now let's go to the effects in here, add another OTT or OPP as they call it. There's just a lot of energy in the low end, so let's take down the low end like so. Perfect. Now we have a patch that we can filter out with a bandpass filter. Check this out. Let's add a multi-filter in here. Let's set it to bandpass. 24 decibels per octave, close it, give it some Q or resonance. So now I have this. Okay, too much resonance. And it's saturating. So let's add a limiter in here. So compressor, set the ratio to 100:1. So basically it's limiting range. Attack to 0, release something fast, take down the threshold, no more clipping. And now what I'm going to do, I'll add another multi-filter in here. I'm going to set it to a conf filter, close it, give it some resonance, and now we have this. Check this out. Right? Now, what we can do is modulate the Q, but I'm going to modulate it with a random binary modulator. So sometimes we have bursts of this comp filter. So random 3, I like to put my binary on random 3. I think it's just a habit from the older versions of Pigments where the binary was the third randomizer. And now let's set it to modulate the Q. And now we have this. Check this out. And with the kick and bass, we'll get this. Check this out. And you know what I like the most about these sounds? These are the perfect sounds to glitch up and use as some sort of an ear candy elements in the track. Check this out. Let's use Chris Glitch in here from Boom Shanka Machines. They are one of my favorite developers. I have this really fast glitch preset in here. You can copy my settings, of course, and with it, we will get these results. Check this out. Crazy psychedelic sounds we just got from adding Chris Glitch to this patch we've just made. Now, let's put it in a track context, shall we? So I've created this main FM lead using Pigments. The patch is pretty straightforward. You can copy my settings. This wavetable comes from the factory content of Pigments. It sounds like this. And I've bounced out the patch that we've just created with Pigments and Chris Glitch, the glassy one, and I've sequenced it in a way that's going to answer to this main FM lead. And both of them with some kick and bass, drums, and some delay. Sounds like this. Check this out. And with this is the end of this tutorial. I really hope you've liked it. I really hope you've learned something new. And I'll see you in the next one.